Okay, hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my living room. Today what we're going to talk about is sickle cell disease. I suffer with this condition and I just wanted to bring a bit more awareness about it, explain it a little bit, because I know I've spoken to people and it tends to be in the UK, you either know what it is, you don't. Simple as. And so I just wanted to bring a bit more clarity, I guess, around the subject. Disease, I'm going to go real scientific for a second, is to do with your blood cells and blood vessels. So specifically sickle cell is when your red blood cells become sickle shaped. I'll put up a photo for reference here. And so what happens with them when they are deformed is they become sticky within the cells, and it makes it easy for them to get stuck. And if they get stuck, if your red blood cells get stuck within your blood vessel, it can cause a few complications. With these different cells, you've got white blood cells and you've got red blood cells. Your white blood cells are usually used to keep you healthy and safe from infection. People with sickle cell tend to have less of these cells and more deformed red blood cells. The type that I have is sickle cell anemia. And sickle cell anemia, there's two different parts to it. There's the actual sickle cell side of it. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get bored of that word. So there's the actual sickle cell side of it, where the disease kicks in, and then there's the other side, the anemia side of it. With that, there are a few different types of sickle cell. And the way you describe this is through different cell names. So with sickle cell carriers, it's usually they have SS, which is a specific type, SC, which is the type that I have, SA, SB, which is more referred to sickle cell trait. So there are a few different types. There's sickle cell trait, there's sickle cell anemia, and there's sickle cell disease, is the way it's been explained to me. So how do you get sickle cell anemia? With the sickle cell disease, not sickle cell anemia. With the sickle cell disease, you have to have at least one parent who's already hereditarily, I don't know. It passes down your family. It passes down in your family, and you have to have at least one parent who already had the condition. So if one partner has sickle cell and the other partner doesn't, there's a possibility that their children either not have it at all, which good for you, or I think it's a 1 in 4 chance that their child could have sickle cell trait. If both parents have it, well, that just ups your percentage, of course. And what it is that your child would be more likely to have the sickle cell disease. So the different people that tend to be affected by it is mostly of African heritage. So in essence, mostly black people. It's not only black people, but it is majority. And I think that the condition is very prominent in Africa and places like that. In the UK, I think there is about 15,000 or so people that have sickle cell disease, trait, anemia, etc. But to actually know whether or not you have it, you do have to get a blood test by your doctor to confirm. So if any of the symptoms I list sound familiar to you, you feel you experience them, I would go see your doctor and just check in, because Nobody knows you have it. They have it. Some people know from birth. I knew from birth that I had sickle cell, but people like my sisters, for example, they didn't find out that they had sickle cell trait. Oh my gosh, at least into their 20s, maybe 30s. So yeah, it's good to make sure and double check that you don't suffer. I want to talk about some of the symptoms that come with sickle cell. So like I said, for me, well, I have anemia. Some of my symptoms are like tiredness and fatigue, like especially in the winter time. In my family, from September to around, I think it's end of February, we call it the red zone, because that's the coldest months in the UK, and that's how sickle cell can occur. So yeah, let me explain a bit more. What can affect sickle cell specifically is the weather. For me, for example, I can usually tell when it's going to rain, which is a joy when you live in London. I don't want to know the statistics of how much it rains in London, but yeah, so that's one of the things that come for me with sickle cell. But the main symptoms, besides, like, for me, jaundice, which is when you get yellow eyes. I think you can get it in other places as well, but for me it's yellow eyes. Jaundice, tiredness, fatigue completely, and then you can have something that sicklers refer to as a crisis. Hey guys, future editor Courtney here. I'm gonna cut the video here. Sorry to end kind of abruptly, but I just thought the video was getting a bit too long, so I'll do a part 2. See you there. Bye. My stepmom was there, my sister was there. It was a very panicked situation, like, oh my gosh, Courtney just fell on the floor, what happened? And I just remember them saying, we need to do blood tests, we need to check your blood pressure, we need to check all of this. And so doctors were coming in and out, telling me what happened. My mum told me to turn around and face her. And I didn't think much about it at the time, but something was not going right on the other side.